So the umpire just doing the toss, deciding the serve. It's Nadia Gatchem of Tunisia. As John was explaining, both players have been inspecting each other's rackets, and the warm-up will now begin, and that will take place over 2 minutes.
Now this is unique. Bayley went and checked both sides of the table for lighting. I haven't seen that yet at this competition, because he does have choice, if he's won the toss, of service, give the service to his opponent, or choose sides. And he did, he checked both sides out. It's interesting. There sometimes can be a little bit of a glare, but at these high-level tournaments, at the Paralympics, Olympics, World Championships, European Championships, the lighting is very standard and is at the highest level, so there should not be any discrepancy at all.
So it's Will Bayley, 36 years old now, world number 1 in Class 7. This is his route to the semi-final. 3-love in the round of 16 and 3-1 in the quarter-finals. Meanwhile, for the world's number 4 at Class 7, Jean-Paul Montanus, 31 years old. And his route to the semi-final. There was that match against Ben Despinu of Belgium, 3-1, and then Jonas Hansen, 3-1. So neither player going to a 5-game decider. There's Nadia Gatchem, Tunisia, who's the umpire. And assistant umpire from France is Isabelle Rousset.
Should mention just prior to starting, the service needs to be on a flat palm, projected up a minimum of 16 centimeters. If you're unable to use it with your non-playing hand or service, then there can be accommodations made as long as the ball is projected up and your opponent can see the ball prior to it being struck by the racket. Actually, should be seen the whole time prior to striking the ball with your racket.
In singles, when it comes to serving, it's just a case of getting it over the net. In doubles, they serve right to left if you've been watching some of the doubles matches. And it also has to go over the centre line of the table as well. So this warm-up drawing to a close, and we're about to get underway with the men's singles Class 7 semi-final at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Will Bayley of Great Britain, the world number 1, versus Jean-Paul Montanus of the Netherlands, world number 4. This is a repeat of the European Championship final from last year in Sheffield. Bayley took that one 3-1. Here we go for the first game. And Montanus to get the service going with his first of 2 serves.
Nice start for Bayley. 2 points off his opposing player. It's been a service warning. The umpire doesn't feel that Bayley's projected the ball up straight enough. He's pulled it back a bit. Apparently, I think Bayley disagrees, but he'll adjust. That's a great ball that Montanus took off the net, because that ball is full of spin. He adjusted in that millisecond to adapt and was successful with the point. That's well done.
Bayley 2 points in front, now has 2 serves. Wants to win his service points, try and get 4 points clear.
It's a good situation there when Montanus was able to drive Bayley back from the table and keep him there until the point was finished. Most players like to stay fairly close to the table, especially the aggressive ones. Warning service, this time a point was taken. He's saying the ball was not projected high enough out of his hand. Both Bayley and the umpire are having a discussion on this. He is not pleased. Bayley is not pleased, of course. Coach is now having a discussion with the umpire. This is very early in the match. You don't want this to become a distraction, so there's no surprise or discussion since there's already been a service fault, a warning and a service fault.
So Andrew Rusham, Will Bayley's coach, goes back to take his seat after the second time the umpire has pulled Bayley up for his service. But the ball needs to be tossed a minimum of 16 centimetres, and the umpire feels that Will Bayley wasn't going high enough.
Since there's been 2 service violations already, this set of services is going to be interesting.
So Montanus has levelled this 5-5. Bayley taking those last 2 points. So now goes 1 in front.
The towel break right now, you're allowed to have a towel break every 6 points. It can be used strategically by a player just to slow things down and have a second thought.
So 6-all between the 2 players now.
Nice combination rally. Montanus kept him pinned there and did not change where he was going. 3 or 4 balls in the same spot. Montanus is also a left-handed player. Sometimes those combinations can be a little interesting.
So this opening game continues to be very close, 7-7.
Montanus has not covered that ball well, simply trying to cover it with his racket, angling the blade in and taking all that energy from Bayley's shot and sending it back. Just off by a fraction. Nice rally. This time Montanus, what he did was pinned him on his opposite side and kept it there repeatedly for 4 or 5 shots. And then he decided to go to the middle, and he missed. What we call counter hitting, which is usually less spin and more speed.
So Montanus won't want too many more of those, because it's set up now a game point for Will Bayley in this best of 5 First player to reach 11 by 2 clear points wins the game. And Will Bayley, the world #1, punches the air. He's really pumped. Was warned twice by the umpire about his serve. Andrew Ruston, the coach, also intervened. And the British contingent go crazy. And flags of Will Bayley's Brighton Table Tennis Club as well. And takes that first game 11 points to 7.
Saw something interesting there. But he went over and he smiled at the referee, or umpire, pardon me. So I think that was just a little thing that, hey, I forgive you. And now let's see where this takes us, because that could have been very fragmented for him. He could have been really, really, really angry.
Great shot from Montanus on that return. Will Bayley 1 game up. That ball goes high. And Montanus just able to come in with the forehand, smash it down. Will Bayley unable to get that back to the table.
That was a strong, powerful attack right off the serve. Perhaps the serve was a little too long, and Bayley took advantage of that one. There doesn't seem to be any sustained continuity yet in Montanus' play. It just seems to be a bit hot and cold. I don't see any strategy yet. It's just trying to get the ball back on the table. But I don't see any tactics yet.
First match of the day as well. So you don't really have too much of the day to even sort of get yourself into the rhythm of the occasion. Just come out and play. First match on table 1. And now the Britain 4 points in front in this second game. Best of 5.
That ball has a whole lot more spin than it looks. Bayley's stroke is really compact. It's quick and it's fast, and he can produce spin very quickly. It was a nice forehand by Montanus. I'd like that. He has to do more of that. Nice patience and a nice backhand by Bayley.
Great precision there from Bayley as well. Saw that gap. And Montanus just unable to get all the way across despite his height and reach. So Bayley now 5 points in front in game 2. Jean-Paul Montanus now cheering, got a point back. Because if it had gone another point, a 6-point gap at this sort of level is a real task and a real ask to come back from that sort of gap.
Both the players take their second towel down. Very quick one.
I think with every point that Montanus wins back, we're going to hear those cheers. The world number 4 fired up and doesn't want to go 2 games down.
Again, I just sense it's a little soft. And although he's more and more passionate, he's just not finishing his points. Another example there, a good counter-hitting rally, but he's at the wrong end of the score, or the point in this case.
So Will Bayley now sets up game point, and this is to go 2-love in front. Montanus claims a point back. Second game point now for Bayley, the world number 1 in Class 7. And that's the second game for Will Bayley. That's his family he's looking over to. His mother and father and the rest of the contingent who are making so much noise. And Will Bayley is now 2 games in front in this semi-final. It's the best of 5, so Bayley only needs 1 more. For Jean-Paul Montanus, he needs 2 games in a row in order to try and stay in this semi-final.
Right, keep doing what you're doing. Use that positioning, think about that positioning. Right, working that middle, working that wide forehand with quality. Okay? And then breaking that. Right? Some more. Okay? Right back on. Right back on.
So interesting, we just heard some of the instructions from Andrew Rushton. Mostly encouragement for Will Bayley to keep doing what he's doing. And so far he's won the first game 11-7, won that last game 11-6. Terrific shot there to the corner.
Yes. And the really interesting thing was his backhand off of his forehand wing. We see more and more of that now at a higher level. It's not all just traditional forehand to forehand, backhand to backhand. People are using different shots and angles.
So first point in game 3 goes to Will Bayley. Jean-Paul Montanus needs to win this game and the next one in order to stay in this semi-final.
Another example of 2 backhands on your forehand. When children are taught, certainly, we frown on that big time. But more and more at the higher levels, you see a lot of backhands off people's forehands. And that is a new strategy over the last few years. Because the buildup of the game used to be power forehand, power forehand, power forehand. The backhand's becoming much more an integral part of the attack game.
So first time out called in this match, and no surprise really. Jean-Paul Montanus 2 games down and 3-love down in this third game. So 60 seconds is the allocated time. You don't have to use the entire allocated time, but I think in this instance, that's what's going to happen.
You notice Bayley didn't spend too much time talking to his coach. Because he didn't have to.
Now Will Bayley just wants to get on with this. He's 2 games in front. Meanwhile for Montanus, needs to win this in the next one, as we were saying a few seconds ago.
A lot of these balls being played down the middle. And Montanus is having just difficulty keeping the rally going. He's not being pressured that much. It's interesting, the Montanus is using pimpled rubber, short pips, and this is not the long pips that causes all the consternation that people have. You can hit with this rubber.
So after 6 points, take a towel break. Quite strategic there, I think, from Will Bayley. Montanus' body language is not looking very positive at all. Apart from that cry of allez, come on, when he took that last point a few moments ago, Will Bayley looking in control of this third game. He's 4 points in front. And Montanus, again, the body language just says, what on earth can I do here? These balls that hit the net, sometimes it goes against you.
Just way, way too high and too deep, giving Bayley all kinds of options. Oh, what a brilliant rally that was. We have to see more of that. That's quality.
Yeah, by far and away the best of the match so far. And Montanus finishing it off with that traditional forehand shot of his, using his height and reach. And then goes and fluffs the serve.
Again, the service return is just, frankly, too weak. And Bayley's just teeing off on it.
Well, Bayley now has a game point and a match point. And that's it, it's all over. Will Bayley is through to the final in the men's singles 7 class. Points over to his family. And the rest of the British supporters, with his home table tennis club flag also being waved alongside the Union flag. And his father Gary, mother Chrissy, partner Fiona, and the 2 girls Bella and Grace, I'm sure will be absolutely delighted, of course. Why wouldn't you be? Seeing Will Bayley go through to the final, 3 games to love. 11-7, 11-6, 11-2.
Yes, that was an extremely dominant performance. Right out of the gate. Right at the first points, other than the service issues that he had, he calmed himself down, Bayley, and just went about his business. There wasn't one situation there where he felt threatened or under any duress whatsoever. It was a clinical game, well played. Deserves to definitely be moving on.
Took 2 warnings from the umpire in the first and then second game over the height of his service. The ball toss with that.